Hey everybody, it's RCK, and I'm glad to have you back here again for our next Naba episode. Yesterday was 4th of July. I tried to give myself a little bit of a break whenever there's a holiday, of course, and I try not to record or do too much on Discord and whatnot. But let's go ahead and jump into this. This is turn 65, if I am not mistaken. We'll definitely check when we get back into the game map. So we've been casting some interesting things. Now that we have the ring, we're casting Ritual of 5 Gates to get 5 demons every turn. We're summoning another Marid. We've cast Black Death twice onto go to target province, onto Armor's capital. I think we were ending our nap with them. No, we are attacking this and then ending our nap with them. I don't know if I timed it out. I don't know if I'm ending it this turn or ending it next turn. I don't exactly remember. But we do have quite a script set up here. We have a lot of Smokeless Thymes going, Iron Skin, Arrowfiend, Divine Blessing, Phoenix Fire, Smokeless Flame, Mass Flight. Probably could take that Smokeless Flame off and just go Mass Flight after Phoenix Fire. Thunder Fiend, that's another big one. Fire Fiend, Arrowfiend. So it looks like we have two casts on Arrowfiend, of course. If this one casts it first, the other one won't cast it. Army of Heroes is going to give our unit some pretty nice buffs here. Fog Warriors, Weapons of Ice and Flying. This is a DE special spell here. Melee attacks do AP damage, 5% of them gain armor negating in magic weapons instead. Armor piercing damage, that's what that means. And so now that we have the fire, water cross paths, now I can consider things like Acid Storm. I think is it called Acid Storm or Acid Rain or something like that. But I'm not too familiar with that spell at this time. I was like, I don't know if it's a good time to cast it, so I just decided not to. We have Frostfiend. Looking good. And we will be hitting the throne here next turn that has all the Watchers in it. Other than that, we are getting two separate armies here ready to move into Ermor once we are ready to attack him. Other than that, we are trying to preach our Dom because from the spells that are Man of Heavens that have Vengeful Water up, so we have to try to push that back. And Mictlan has Wrath of God, so we need to make sure that we are preaching on this side too to keep his High Dominion out. Same with Ermor on this side here. We do have a preacher here. More than likely, we have somebody patrolling. We don't have anyone preaching in this province, but we are patrolling due to blood hunting. Other than that, we're not making too many items anymore, but we are starting it. We have two sets of demons here now, so that's coming along pretty nicely. Of course, even small mounted demons, they're just so nice, so strong. They're really, really good units, of course. As we try to work our way into blood a little bit faster, we're summoning more Gulas. Our blood economy is just going slow, and honestly, at turn 65, it needs to be a lot higher, and I have really set it up in other games to be a lot stronger earlier on to get it really rolling into the late game. That's what you really need. This is my first time playing Naba here, so this wasn't too bad. We should have. Looks like we're not having him cast Black Death anymore. We just did it twice, so he only has 1/4 of what's actually his population. So that's knocked down pretty far for him, to be honest. Other than that, looks like we're massing a lot of scouts here. I don't remember why we're massing scouts here. I don't remember. I'm sure there's supposed to be a reason why. Other than that, Lemuria did let us take this fort here that was someone else's capital from Ermor, even though he was sieging it. That was very, very nice of him. Because they really didn't have any gems that he necessarily wanted. We've been good allies so far in this game, so he will let me take that. He wanted to kind of deal, because he had so much going on here with Pangaea, he didn't want to bother taking that last fort. So he had to get his army out of there fast because we have Ulm still fighting, we have Pangaea coming after him. So he did allow me to take that. We do see Miklin's doing some work here. So let's see. It's just a battle. So there was a battle here in Pangea. I'm trying to put that final nail in the coffin there for Miklin. Ooh, this is a nice army. We've seen this one before. His Bliss is pretty strong if anyone doesn't remember it. I know it has been a while since I posted an episode. I apologize for that. It says Pretender back there. And let's see the inside battle. That's what I really want to see. We can also watch this battle on top of Ulm to see what Pangea was actually using as Ulm broke out. Not really much of anything. Just looks like chaff sitting on the fort, honestly. He broke out with a small amount, not too bad. So let's watch this battle. This is the one I'm interested in. This is the inside battle for the fort of Pangea. The person we have been fighting for so long, someone else is going to finally take him out. Looks like he's been doing some summons of these ice strikes. They're pretty good. Not too bad, but they are starving and diseased. More than likely due to how many Menads there are here. Are any of them starving or diseased? I don't see any. Interesting. We have the Marble Lions. We have his entire mage force here from the looks of it between the Centriads and the what are the main ones called? Hierophants. Then we have all of the Pendomics or something. I don't believe what they're called, but they're the nature blood random ones for that this Pangea gets. Of course, the EA Pangea just naturally gets them on their pans. That will get earth, nature, and blood. But as far as MA Pangea goes, they only get earth and nature, and then they have the nature and blood. So they get two separate pans there. And of course, we see the god here in the back. Just lots and lots of chaff here. And honestly, this is going to get ripped apart from those sacreds that Miklin has. Of course, the centaurs here might stand a little bit of a chance, depending. Don't know how equipped these guys are. These just look like researchers in the fort. Have some shamans here. They might be casting something important. I do see a few astral pearls on them. We see some blood slaves up here. So very interesting. But I'm sure this is going to mulch up all this chaff. And there's really not enough backbone here from Pangea to really stand a chance or stand up to it. I mean, of course, I'm sure all these nature and whatnot, let's pause. They could be casting Swarm and things like that to kind of buy time, but I mean, Chaff was only going to last you but so long against this. We do see a lot of webs being cast. Now, another interesting spell for sure that I feel like is a pretty good one here in this situation could be something like Sleep. Sleep Cloud, stuff like that, because those are pretty powerful spells, especially cast by a high-level nature unit, and honestly, I don't feel like people give them as much credit as they should get. So they are very, very interesting spells. You should check them out. We have Solar Brilliance coming up from the Dragon. So a lot of things are going to get blinded the longer this stays up. So this is going to be interesting. And we also have Howl that has been cast. Let's see who else brings something else. Looks like Mist has been cast by somebody as well. We have Heat from Hell from a Sun Priest, so that's from Miklin. I assume Miklin cast a Mist that's up as well. Bloodletting's being cast. Madness of the Wild. Anything else? Soul Flays. Frozen Hearts being cast. That's pretty high evocation. Beast-Tide Warriors. But honestly, all the chaff that's been over here has just been annihilated. We have units catching on fire some places from the Solar Brilliance, of course. Pretty sure this can catch units on fire, but I could be wrong. Heat from Hell doesn't catch units on fire. So, on top of that, Pangea is also cast Mass Protection, giving all of his units susceptibility to fire. So that's definitely not helping him out at the moment. That was a Doom being cast. Now, who cast Doom? It looks like Pangea cast Doom because all of these beast bats here are cursed, whereas the Menads are not cursed. We have relief come up from Pangea, trying to help out some of the fatigue everyone's taking right now, which isn't too bad since the encumbrance on the Menads are fairly low. Other than that, you're really just trying to help the fatigue out on your White Centaurs, wherever they may be. And honestly, White Centaurs have rode out at this point and met the army head on, which is an interesting tactic here, especially if Micklin was not guarding his mages, but it looks like he had some on attack closest, some on attack rear, which is a really, really good idea. Always keep that in mind, especially if you're casting Mass Flight, keep that in mind as well. Because by the time everyone goes up, if you're all on attack rear and they all attack rear, the units that are in the front of the enemy's army is going to be able to just kind of wipe out the mages you have sitting here in the back, which could be very, very dangerous. I've seen some armies come very, very close to hitting my mages just from the Mass Flight kind of missing their front troops. Okay, so let's go ahead and press play. Like I said, not enough White Centaurs here to really hold up against all of the units here, the Beast Bats, the Eagle Warriors, and whatnot. Other than that, we have almost more than halfway surrounded back line here, cut off the chaff from the front. So many of them's on fire. We have the units from the Micklin's line here catching up, holding at the gate. We have Beast Bats on the walls. Looking at a very dangerous situation here for sure. For Pangea, a lot of his units are starting to fatigue out from heat from hell because they don't have any fire resistance. So on top of that, you can cut on fire from solar brilliance. Lots of them are blind. That was 2 units there that are blind. That's another one that's blind. You're blind. You're blind. I mean, well, that's on top of the morale penalty, but blind gives you a -9 stat to defense skill. That is pretty bad. Also, -9 to your attack skill. That is really, really bad for you. It's basically making these Menads like one-hit kills at this point if they are blind. Attack skill 3, defense skill 1, yeah. Getting pretty bad here for him. Now, the dragon itself is not blind due to its high magical resistance. But like I said, almost everything else at this point is blinded. Does it blind your own units? Yes. Oh my goodness, so many of his units are also blinded. Yikes. I mean, mages don't really matter if they're blind or not, but as long as they don't have a targeting spell, like a spell that actually shoots. But as far as the units themselves go, yes, it does kind of matter. At -9 is pretty painful, but they might have Spirit Sight or Dark Vision 100. If that's no, I think Spirit Sight. If they have Spirit Sight, I don't think it affects them. Which no, they have Dark Vision. I don't know. See, they have a -9 here. So 4, 7. The basic one is 11. So 7 plus 11 is 18. -9. Okay, yeah. So it does. I mean, that's a very, very high penalty that they're given here. But I mean, as far as it goes, it's still like a small bit below average as far as their attack skill is. Still pretty painful, I feel, to blind everything that you have. Now, I don't believe I don't know if it matters for the Beast Bats as much. Yeah, see, so blind has no effect for the Beast Bats, but it is hurting the Eagle Warriors. I mean, I think he's at this point already lost a bunch of Eagle Warriors, so it's not that painful for him to blind his Eagle Warriors. Of course, the Beast Bats do not get blindness, or do not get penalties to blindness, so it's not affecting them at all. It's not too bad. The mages doesn't matter if they're blind or not, but we will keep playing. Here fighting Pangea's last stand here, and they're just slowly closing this grip, and there we have it. Man. Alright, and that is it for Pangea. From the looks of it, yeah, that was pretty heavy losses. Lost less Eagle Warriors than I thought. Maybe a lot of them routed, it could have been. 58 Beast Bats, but they killed 726 troops. Whew. Those ice drakes actually did a pretty good job there at fighting. Those were pretty good choice there in summoning. 109 kills. Very, very interesting. Lost a lot of his Mountain Kings there. That's what, 9 gems? Yeah. I do not remember the conversion rate for M.A. Micklin from Blood Slaves to Beast Bats. But I mean, 58 is still a pretty hefty toll. But having a new cap, taking out a nation, it's worth it in the end, I feel. Had a few events there called a Plague Cult. Not too bad. So things are looking pretty good. And of course, for the big turn, of course, we're going to want to watch this throne battle before we get ready for the war with Ermor. So I'll go ahead and end the turn and head over to turn 66, I believe. Yes, turn 66. Alright, continue game. There we go. Okay. So Pangea sent us a lot of gems here. Now, is this from the Micklin sent us gems? We must have traded. I think we did some trades here and there. That's what that's all from. Summon another Gula. We have a battle here where Grand Lemur took out Pangea in force. Now, of course, I do want to see the items here on this Grand Lemur. No items, just Astral 3, Death 3. Okay, this actually seems to be maybe a blood hunting, yeah. A blood hunting province where he has a blood or a pan with a dowsing rod in it. Is Horde of Skeletons really gonna get him out of this one? No? Okay. So, no, he ended up dying. Right, I thought he won. No, he just killed a lot of Maenads. Oh yeah, it does say he was defeated, okay. Ancient Temple of the Deep, so let's go ahead and see what that is. Just the Astral Pearl and a Water Gem a turn. Not too bad. There's a battle here in the Ulm. So this is just PD, of course. So Pangea, or at least Ulm dumped some PD in it. Pangea went and killed it. Taking pretty big losses, but these Draco Dragons have done a pretty good job for him, it looks like. We have a raiding force here from Lemuria. Of course, Lemuria lost. Interesting to see this Ice Devil here. Let's check him out. Of course, this is a blood summon. If you're curious, every battle now is in darkness, by the way. So it has a black heart. Oh, so this is an assassin. Okay. Girdle of Might, Boots of the Messenger, Mirror Armor for the MR, Acid Breath, Helm of Acid Breath, and then a Carmine Cleaver. Fire Resistance, Fire Shield, Armor Piercing. Did some decent damages there. Pretty good spell on top of that. Yeah, done a lot of damage. Pretty high hit point pool. Just looks like just a summoned Ice Devil turned assassin with some cheap items on him. Not too bad. I feel like he can definitely take out this chap, more than likely on his own here. But it looks like he threw the Ice Devil in as protection for this Blood Hunter group. Oh yeah. Took care of that pretty well. Small werewolf force, but was taken out by 1 PD. 1 PD for Lemuria is pretty strong since they have a Lemur Acolyte here. Being ethereal, having a bless, having magic power, and whatnot. Being a blood one, a priest, of course he can bless himself, has decent stats as far as it goes. And depending on what your bless are, these 1 PD can be pretty useful for you. Like that. Another raid. So here we have the battle of that throne we were talking about. Ended up losing 25 soldiers, a little bit more than I expected, but we did grab a monolith, so that's very interesting. And lost 8 Jane Guard. So let's go ahead and watch this. A little bit overkill on the 13 Malachites here, but of course, since we're not fighting yet, I have no point in splitting them up. They're all going to be split up between those 3 armies that we have. Probably like 3 to an army, maybe 4 to an army, depending how it is. One might have more than others, being more of a like fort-taking group at that point. We have another Merid, so we're up to 2 Merids, one for each army. They cast things like Flames of Ice and Fire, or whatever it's called. Let's go ahead and watch this battle. Very nice that we ended up charming the Monolith here, which was pretty awesome. Fighting in darkness doesn't help us out all that much. So we have the shock resistance. We do have mass regen. I think I've forgotten to mention that. We're also going to have mass protection. We also have misform up, arrow fin. We have the sharp weapons of sharpness on them as well. Definitely will be enough to chop through the Watchers and the Monolith itself, because these guys do hit pretty hard at 23 slash damage. These guys are at 21 slash. Of course, that lightning really does take a toll on you. I feel like that's where we lost a lot of our units at, was all that lightning damage. I think we're casting Enslaved Mind if you look up here. Yeah, we are casting Enslaved Mind. Okay, I knew it wasn't a charm, because we only had that one nature enchantress in here. Yeah, right there. So I thought she was way too far away to be casting charm, but instead we do have this fella here spamming off Enslaved Mind. Looks like he's the communion master. Yes, he must be at like level 3. It's level 3 Enslaved Mind. He might be at level 4. He could be a level 4. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's got to be 8 sitting somewhere. There's 4 there. 2, 3. No, we just have 7. Oh, nope, it's right there. So, nope, that one's doing Enslaved Mind too. Maybe it's only a level 3 spell to cast him. Fighting against 17 protection. Yeah, there's a very good chance we're able to grab this. Only really doing chip damage even with the weapons of sharpness on, but chip damage is all we need. Oh, Gifts of Heaven hurts. I also have Mass Flight if you see all these guys jumping up and down. There we go, we enslaved them. Very nice, very nice. Of course, we'll take a look at that when we get over there. We have a Water Elemental taking out one of our scouts. We have a battle in that fortress, so we just use a scout to ping it. I definitely wanted to see what he had inside of there. A lot of unrest events, a plague cult. Caught a couple of units patrolling. Some of our units got caught patrolling. Very interesting. So, this is the Throne of Creation. Spreads Dominion 3. Dominion gets Turmoil 3. Ritual casting levels +1. Conjuration bonus is 30. Construction bonus is 20. Now, normally this is a pretty good site here. But do we really want to drop down to Turmoil 3? It's going to definitely hurt our production. I don't have anything I particularly want made. Or cast at that point since we only need one more Merid. So more than likely we won't end up claiming this stone unless it's time to win. Quite a big, couple of big stacks sitting around here. We need to be casting like Leprosy and whatnot on those stacks. While we still can. Throw some on there too. Throw some on these 4 stacks. Since we do get 32 Death Gems a turn. Other than that, we can take a look at. So now since Slave Mind is actually a unit, so now we have to do the nature spell that turns it into a commander and get them that way. Either way, this is a decent defender, I guess, at the moment. Are we doing it with the Enchantress, or are we moving with the Enchantress? Where is said Enchantress at? No, we're moving with her. Okay, so should be moving. Yeah, we are moving someone else to cast it. This is, of course, the one that's staying in the army. Okay, so everyone's moving over to 254, or at least lots of units are. Supply usage is at 3, minus 454, so we are able to keep them all in one area. Supply usage is at 425, but these we need to keep separate, or at least add items onto them. We do have an enchantress ready. We have our mage core kind of set up. We should be, I think we're moving a lot of these guys here to start teleporting them over to the other provinces, or cloud trap easing them over. So that will be very useful. We're about maxed out on research here. As soon as we get those 4 more paths there, it'll only take us about 2, 4, 6, 8 more turns. We've maxed out on research, which isn't too bad. And that was the really only big battle. Other than that, everything's just moving at the moment. Getting ready for kind of like the calm before the storm now. We should be recruiting, no, we're just recruiting commanders. What I believe what we're going to be doing with a lot of these camel riders are putting them on separate camel rider or sheik commanders here, and then sending them in, trying to raid. They still have Vengeful Waters up. Can't remember if we talked to Micklin. I think Micklin does plan on fighting Ermor as well. Who, Eyes of God, Wrath of God, Whispering Winds. It must have just been an event for the turn. Maybe it wasn't. Yeah. So I only see Eyes of God here from Maria. Yeah, weird. Must have taken it down last turn or something. No, our battles were in darkness. Yeah, we were fighting in darkness. I don't remember. No, what it is there's a spell that for 1 turn it turns everything to darkness. So it's going to take a decrease to your income. It's going to hit your income. It's going to hit everything that you have. See, this is from them casting that darkness spell. So Lemuria is going. This is the first turn it happens, but every turn Lemuria is going to be casting this darkness spell for 1 turn. So they're not actually going to be able to do it as a global. So that means means the other opponents aren't going to be able to actually put it down. What spell was that called? I will have to look. Is it Thumb? No. Maybe it's Alteration. It's a DE spell. Yeah, the Lone Night, okay? Creates a worldwide solar eclipse for 1 month. So it's basically the Utter Dark spell for 1 month. Instead of casting Utter Dark for 100 gems and having them take it down, he can just continuously cast Long Night, which I've been feeding him Death Gems, so he's been pretty happy about that. So he's able to cast it every turn, regardless if he wants to summon something or not. He can still do it, because I'm sure he's making probably like somewhere between 30 to 50 Death Gems, I feel. That might be a little high, but he's definitely making over 25 Death Gems a turn for sure. Other than that, I've been giving him gems, so I know he has a nice stockpile. So yeah, that is what's happening right here. Alright, so hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one, guys. Bye.